Have you ever wondered what single act of defiance by an African American woman have sparked a revolution against racial segregation? When you think of great African American women, which name comes to your mind? Now, step into the world of Rosa Parks, a courageous activist whose unwavering spirit and indomitable courage shattered the chain of injustice. The author of the storytelling series for small businesses and content creators. In Obehi podcast, we talk about the power of your story, your narrative, and why you should own your voice. Whether you are a small business owner, a content entrepreneur, or you simply want to build your influence, storytelling is probably going to be your best instrument to connect with your audience. So join the awakened few who are owning their voices. Now let's get started with today's episode. Rosa Parks was a catalyst for change. Her pivotal role in the Montgomery Bus Boycott in 1955 propelled her into the forefront of the civil rights movement. Although she did not suddenly become conscious of her position that day, the incident of the bus that evening ended up solidifying her place as an icon of courage and determination. Early life and foundation. Rosa Louise Mercalli Parks was born on February 4, 1913 in the city of Tuskegee, Alabama. She grew up amidst a turbulent era that was defined by racial segregation in the United States. From an early age, Rosa experienced firsthand the humiliation and inequality inflicted upon African Americans, from the official and institutional oppression such as the frequent police brutality and the biased justice system that is further reflected in the illegal dispossession and destruction of property and economic activity owned by African Americans. There were also the domestic terrorist activities of the Ku Klux Klan, just to name a few. So Rosa Parks grew up in a time that was particularly hostile to her and other people that looked like her. It's not like all this cruelty have been completely eradicated in the United States today. Looking at what is still happening in the country, the unfair justice system, the overrepresentation in the prison industrial complex, the high proportion of people of African descent dying in the hands of police officers in comparison to European Americans, not to talk of the underreported cases. This is to give you an idea of where we are coming from and what led to the struggle by Rosa Parks and other individuals like her in the African diaspora community. But there is a fundamental point we must never underestimate: the importance of inculcating good value in children. The value instilled in her by her mother and grandparents, coupled with her own unwavering sense of justice, laid the foundation for the heroic stand she would later take in life. The courageous art of defiance. On that fateful day, December 1st, 1955, Rosa Parks boarded a segregated Montgomery city bus, unaware that her action would ignite the revolution. As she sat in the designated colored section, the bus began to fill. And when the white section became overcrowded, the driver demanded Rosa Parks relinquish her seat. In an act of unwavering defiance, Rosa refused to comply, challenging the deep-rooted notion of racial hierarchy in the system. Is there any lesson to that? Rosa Parks later said that she had refused to stand not because she was physically tired, but because she was tired of giving in and she wasn't ready to give in on that evening. The lesson to derive from Rosa Parks' courageous act of defiance goes far beyond a singular act of resistance. It serves as a profound reminder that every individual has the power to challenge injustice and ignite real change. Her unwavering stand teaches us that courage can be found in the most ordinary of individuals, and that even the smallest act of resistance can have some monumental ripple effect. Rosa Parks' lessons lie in inspiring us to enhance our own bravery and confront injustice, knowing that our action can inspire others and shape a brighter future for all. Beyond the Montgomery Bus Boycott. The Montgomery Bus Boycott was a pivotal moment in the civil rights movement. For 381 days, African Americans, led by influential leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., boycotted the city bus system, demanding an end to racial segregation. This non-violent resistance ultimately led to a Supreme Court ruling declaring bus segregation unconstitutional. And going back to the lesson I was saying before, Rosa Parks did not act for a selfish reason or based on the strict personal merit, but for the collective good of the African American community, which needed the change, and the change was what they got in the end. Legacy and remembrance. Rosa Parks should be remembered not only for her act of defiance, but also for the indomitable spirit that defined her character. Her unwavering courage, humanity, and selflessness paved the way for future generations of activists, both within the United States and outside. Rosa Parks became a symbol of resistance and inspiration for millions of people worldwide, demonstrating that one person, through a single act of bravery, can ignite change on an unprecedented scale. She died on October 24, 2005 in Detroit, Michigan, but her memory lives on through her good works. What is your takeaway? Well, for you listening to the sound of my voice, you can see Rosa Parks as a guiding light in the African diaspora community and reminding us of the power we hold within ourselves to challenge injustice and fight for a more equitable future. If you ask me, I think the story of Rosa Parks leaves us with several key lessons that should deeply resonate with us and the African diaspora community in general. Now here are 5 of such possible lessons for your reflection. The power of individual action. Rosa Parks' story reminds us that one person can make a profound difference. Through her act of defiance, she challenged an unjust system and sparked a movement for change. It reinforces the idea that each of us possesses the capacity to effect positive change in our community and beyond. Courage in the face of adversity. Rosa Parks exhibited extraordinary courage in the face of adversity. Despite the potential consequences and the societal pressure, she remained steadfast in her belief and stood up for what was right. Her example teaches us the importance of standing tall in the face of injustice, even when it seems daunting or unpopular. Non-violent resistance. Rosa Parks exemplified the power of non-violent resistance. Her refusal to engage in physical violence or aggression while challenging segregation demonstrated the effectiveness of peaceful protest. This principle, carried forward by other civil rights activists, became a cornerstone of the movement and showcased the strength of moral fortitude, the strength of collective action. The Montgomery Bus Boycott that followed Rosa Parks' act of defiance underscored the strength of collective action. African America united in solidarity, refusing to ride the bus, and their sustained commitment resulted in a significant victory for civil rights. It teaches us that when individuals come together for a common cause, their collective power becomes a force to be reckoned with. Legacy and inspiration. Rosa Parks' legacy continued to inspire generations. Her story serves as a sign of hope and a reminder that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things. It encourages us to reflect on our own lives and consider how we can contribute to a more just and equitable world. Is there any other lesson you have learned in this story? Let me know in the comment section below. I would love to read your comment on this story. enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Overheat Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. Thank you so much for listening, and talk to you in the next episode.